Long time no see, everybody. Say hello to the Samsung Jack on AT&T, selling for I think 99 bucks and 349 without a contract. Very cheap. Windows Mobile 6.1 standard, 320 by 240 screen, as is standard for these non-touch screen phones. And boy, it's a really nice little form factor. Feels really good in the hand. Let's go around the device. We've got a power/quick list button, which gives you a quick access to a bunch of options. We got our volume buttons, of course, microphone hole. And over here we have our only port, our singular port on the phone, a Samsung crazy port. I don't know what to call them. That's aggravating. There's no 3.5 millimeter headset jack, but it does ship with a 3.5 millimeter headset adapter. However, no headset to be found in that box. One other notable thing as I go around the device is that you have to take the battery out to get the micro SD card in, which is annoying. 3.2 megapixel camera, 2 speaker holes, one on the back and one on the top, which makes it really easy to hear, and lots of neat little custom software things, like you hold down the camera button and it zooms in on the screen if you're so inclined to zoom in on any particular thing. It has a 528 megahertz processor, which is pretty fast for these standard phones. So I'm take a picture of myself here just to show you how quick it manages to do these things. It's pretty good. I've got a few things running in the background as this goes. Of course, it's 3G and Bluetooth, and then the new thing here is it has Wi-Fi, which is its step up on its predecessors, the Blackjack 2 and the Blackjack, which, here we have them. Blackjack 2, of course, is in the middle, Blackjack Original on the far left, and the Jack over here on the far right. As you can see, it is much shorter, around the same thickness. The keyboard is a little bit more tightly packed. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment. You know, around the same thickness, not too bad, and it feels so light. It's really nice in the hand. Let's take a close look at the keyboard. The keys are sort of ridged and they angle away from the center of the device, so they're not too bad to type on. Certainly better than the Trio Pro I've been using, but of course it's not as good as something huge and expansive like this Motorola Q9H that I'm comparing it to now, which you can see is, of course, much, much wider. The Q9H has been one of my favorite phones, partially because it's so fast, and the Samsung Jack definitely matches that. And here is the BlackBerry 8900, which I am showing here because look at the design cues. You got the silver rim, you got the angled top. I mean, it's like they had one of these in the lab when they were carving it out of wood to first design it. You know, the BlackBerry, excuse me, has that 3.5 jack, but nevertheless. Okay, well, let's zoom in and let's take a closer look at the OS proper. Let's not zoom in quite that far, excuse me. All right, so the first thing I want to note is we've got some shortcut buttons on the bottom. We've got MediaNet, which is supposed to open up Internet Explorer, tries to open up MediaNet, and it's a hassle because that doesn't work for me because I'm not on the MediaNet plan. I even have to go in and change the setting on IE to automatically detect the connection. Big fail there. I wish it just opened up Internet Explorer instead of trying to open up a specific shortcut that set it to the WAP connection. Annoying. Here is AT&T Navigator, aka Telenav, and they have made some huge improvements in this app since I last used it. You can hold the spacebar down to speak your destination, and it'll just upload that and then send you back down your destination, check if it's right. Really good stuff. Of course, we've got a silent button, a camera button, and an email button on the bottom as well. None of those are customizable, which is too bad. You've got your standard sliding panels here, everything we have grown to know and love. And take a look at the settings here. There's some extra things. You know, you can go into the settings for the home screen and switch it up to one of Samsung's funny little things, or a more traditional old school Windows Mobile standard look if you like. And there's even this funny little setting which is in here, a message ticker. When you get an email, it'll like actually pop up in a bubble and give you a quick preview of the message. In practice, very annoying. I didn't like it at all. You know, it wasn't clear how you back out of this pop-up message and so on. But if you really want to see the emails as they come in, there you go. You can do that. So let's head back to the home screen, hit the start button, and look at this. We are not looking at the most recently used list of programs. We're looking at the full list of programs. I don't really like that behavior, but I guess Samsung thought it was easier to use that way. We see there's a link for AT&T Wi-Fi to look for AT&T's Wi-Fi hotspots. And as you can see, we do have Wi-Fi. There it is. If you didn't believe me, now you do. The aggravating thing about that AT&T Wi-Fi thing, it's just a web link to a promise to someday give you information about AT&T Wi-Fi. So that's great. Thanks a lot, AT&T. We have got all of Samsung's traditional Windows Mobile apps like Alarms and D-Day and Smart Converter and so on. That's exciting, I guess. Now, looking at these buttons here, you see I'm using the tip of my finger. The home button is a little too close to the talk button. It's a little aggravating, but that 5-way is great. It works really well, and if you hold it down for an extended period of time, it starts to scroll faster, which helps to make up for the lack of a scroll wheel on from the Blackjacks. Another thing I want to point out here from the app screen is a live search. Fully works with GPS, so does Google Maps. I've read some people having problems with standalone GPS apps like Copilot, but I haven't had any problems using GPS fully without having to do any hacking in both live search and Google Maps, and that is really good. In fact, here I am inside, and it's actually picked up a signal, so it does that very well. Picking up AT&T signal, it doesn't do great. It does good enough. I've had phones that pick up a little bit better, but it does the job. I don't have any complaints. You can see internet sharing is there. Good to see they didn't get rid of that. And hey, look at that. Do you see that little purple blinky light? There is a LED indicator right next to that ambient light sensor to adjust the brightness of the screen. And it lights up different colors for different things. I really hope that LED hacking app, whose name escapes me right now, I'll put it in the notes on the post, will work with that. And so it blinks different colors, different things. So purple is email, and blue, there it is for Bluetooth. And so I love indicator lights. That makes me really happy to see. And you can see I'm running a few things here. Live search, navigator. It managed to get the job done. You can just hold down the home key to get to that. Boy, there's not a whole lot else to say. If you know Windows Mobile Standard, you know this phone. It's light, it's fast. So far, it's done decently on battery. I wish those buttons on the bottom were customizable, but it's cheap, and I have no problem recommending this to new users and maybe to experienced users, depending on if we can figure out how to hack those buttons on the bottom. So there you go, Samsung Jack.